Yeah,
I'm actually going to swap networks here. Hold that thought just for 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, testing.
Hello.
Okay. You were saying?
What I was saying was, um, it's very interesting. Was this statue erected in honor of the recently deceased king? Or did he erect a statue of himself to greet people when they walked in?
So you're wondering whether this king is a narcissist?
Yeah, I mean, he might be. It's
Hmm.
entirely plausible that a king might be a bit narcissistic.
I mean, it wouldn't be outside of the king's rights to get himself erect.
Whew.
Ed.
Oh, alright, so. Anything
Anyway.
in this room?
Doesn't appear to be. Search, 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 search. Totally useless. I'm not going to bother. I know that.
So what are these?
You peek inside the suit and find a lot of dust, presumably armor suits.
Well, let's keep looking. Always helps to be thorough.
Nothing.
So what is this room?
This is obviously the ballroom. Didn't you know? Can't you tell by the absolute lack of decor visible to our eyes?
Okay.
Beautiful crystal chandeliers hang from the ceiling far above. Bright sunlight falls through the high windows and across the white stone floor. In the far corner, a small group of minstrels play before the couple who dance gracefully before you.
Okay, so we walked in on a dancing couple dancing to music. What?
Yep, pretty much.
Hello. Good afternoon,
says the man as you approach.
You must be the inspector. I am Lord Talmar, and this is my wife, Lady Nisha. As to the murder of that evil man, I can tell you that no one weeps over his death, but we don't know of anyone who would actually kill him. Okay.
All right, so he's not a good guy, or he wasn't.
We know that the king was unpopular to at least one person.
You can continue your thought before we go on here.
As for the night of the murder,
begins Lady Nisha,
we retired early and slept until someone shouted for the guards to come.
Talmar begins to fidget nervously.
But...
he interrupts, his voice a bit shaky.
For information, go to the Joker. I'm sure he'll talk your ear off, although it may just be with riddles and tales of the high adventures he and his sister had before they settled here.
Okay, so the Joker may know a thing.
Okay. Hello again,
says Lord Talmar, looking much more relaxed now.
I thought you might be interested to know, since you come from a foreign land. There are 4 men, of which one will soon be elected to rule this land. I, Lord Chiron, the Prince, and the Wizard are the men who will be voted on by the public, and whoever receives the most votes will be the new king.
Fairly standard election process.
Okay.
The couple stops dancing and walks up to you.
I've been meaning to tell you that 2 or 3 days back there was a lot of talk about something down at the harbor,
says Lady Nisha.
Later that day, Eric, the prince, and Lord Chiron came back from the harbor and went directly to the king. The prince was carrying 2 black boxes.
Is that a fact? Okay.
So everyone but the wizard.
The couple continue to dance, but seem a little tired.
Why are they just dancing?
No idea. Now, once you see a line like this, that's it for the dialogue for these people.
Okay. So shall we go talk to the band?
The instruments in this small band are a harp, a mandolin, a flute, and pipes.
Huh.
Okay,
then.
They are not here to speak.
Alright.
This room is filled with tables and chairs, each stacked upon one another to the point of toppling. Looking past the mass of furniture, you see shelves along the back wall rising as high as the stacked tables. They seem to contain ornaments such as candles, ribbons, dried flowers, and other decorations. This seems like prime search, doesn't it?
Yeah. Nothing?
You squeeze under a table to get a look at the far corner, but find nothing.
Nothing of interest?
Nothing.
Alright.
And at this point, there's not really going to be anything of interest here. You can kind of tell by the look of the different items in each room whether something is actually worth searching. Huge stone statues stand near the walls of this dimly lit room. Looking at them, you understand that they were rulers of ages long past. As you look to the end of the hall, you see a shadowy figure staring into the stony eyes of one of the statues.
Okay.
So there's somebody here somewhere close by.
Okay.
This is the oldest one. Doesn't help much. Aha, here we are. The torchlight reveals an unhappy young man who looks remarkably similar to the statue at which he is staring.
Hello.
The young man begins gloomily.
I understand that you seek the king's murderer. I am Prince Morgan. I was asleep at the time of the death, so I can't tell you much. Maybe the guards can, but I heard that they were asleep also. As to who killed my uncle, well, Lord Chiron is my bet. That pompous fool always wanted the throne, even when my father was ruling. He is a power-hungry demon, just as bad as the one that just died. I would put Lord Chiron down in your notes as a likely suspect.
Let's see the rest of these statues before we continue speaking with Morgan.
Interesting that it would highlight that one is the oldest one, and one is probably the statue of the newest. You realize, Inspector,
says the prince,
that I don't want to rule. I never had the lust for power that Lord Chiron has. But if the crown was offered to me, I would accept it. I think that much could be accomplished here, and I might have to be the one to do it.
So far, he seems decent.
Oh, by the way, you may need the password. It is Basilisk.
Basilisk. Got it. Morgan sits here leaning against the statue. He glances at you, and then stares off into the shadows once again.
Okay.
Alright, so we got one tidbit of useful information off of him. Question is, where is it useful?
Right. Well, might as well continue to take a look around here.
Here's our junction.
Let's head to